gameplay. So I love the
shooter,
campaign.
Like a third-person shooter?
It's a shooter melee combo.
Cover?
You have like, no cover.
No cover, okay.
No cover. You'll get different things throughout the campaign. I don't want to spoil anything, but there's certain points where you'll get a jetpack and other points where you'll be using something else. So the campaign mode, like all the modes are broken up into their own separate, no yo-yos. That's not in the Warhammer lore. Broken up into their separate sort of progression systems. And the campaign is probably, some people are going, I did the campaign in 6 hours. Look, I don't know how they pulled that off. Maybe they put it on easy and rushed through it all and skipped all the cutscenes, didn't explore it all, didn't collect all the data sets. Like it took me probably 17 hours. So I think like 15 to 20 hours for the campaign is more accurate if you're not just like putting it on easy and bum rushing the whole thing.
Super
so yeah, but people are saying that's just, you have to give us more in this day and age. So of course they do give you more because the 20-hour campaign, I'm like, make a good game, not a long game, and I think they did that. Even with the campaign, honestly, I would have been happy even with just the campaign. But they also give you an operations mode, which that mode is more like Darktide, Vermintide missions, even though they are adding Horde mode later. These are repeatable missions you can do with your friends. It's like 30 hours per class to get them all the maximum. You level up perks and weapons. There's cosmetics. There's also trials in this mode, which is like another mini mode where you can try to learn about each little mini marine class and try to beat these like challenge trials that get harder and earn points that way. Then there's the Eternal War PvP mode, which has 3 modes like Deathmatch, King of the Hill, Capture and Hold. I played PvP. I actually kind of like it. Like I wouldn't play tons of this, but it's fun for a couple of weekends, the PvP, because there's all these cosmetic unlocks in that. And I'm like, oh, if I keep leveling this guy, I can get this. Like they have a whole progression system built into these 2 other modes, Operations mode and the PvP mode.
Another mission, Helldivers?
The campaign mode is more just kind of like a good story shooter melee game.
I have a question. So is this, is the campaign like a very cohesive campaign, or is it level-based like an Aliens co-op game?
No, it's not like that. It's a story. Like there's a good story here. It follows Titus, and like if you're familiar with the books, like people will know kind of what happens with him, I believe. And it does follow the story from the first game, which I did not play. But it's going to be hard to go back and play the first game after this because this game looks fucking phenomenal. Even people I know that still have older graphics cards are saying like they did a decent job with like DLSS is actually working really well where they're able to run the game and it looks really good and runs really good. I know there were some issues on the console with PlayStation. It was running better on Xbox, but I'm sure they're sorting that out. But I was just so impressed, like just the look of this game and how many mobs on the screen and how it felt. Like I was impressed. Like and I don't get me wrong, I'm a sucker for like Warhammer style shit with like the Gothic churches mixed with the dichotomy of like the broken down like destruction of everything. So it's like beauty mixed with pain in like every scene, and that's just so Warhammer right there. It's like technology versus tradition and religion versus science, and it all like kind of comes together in every scene. Like they just did such a good job capturing the feel of Warhammer, the sound, the music. Like I just fucking loved the campaign. Like I don't know, I really recommend this game. This isn't a game that you question should you play. It's a question of when you play. Put this on your list.
Now, would you? No, okay. Now, these Warhammer games, I played a couple.
Okay.
It seems like it's very hit or miss, like Eurojank wise. Is this Eurojank?
No. People are saying this is probably the best Warhammer game ever made, and at least it is for me, the ones I've played. They do need to fix ultra-wide and add the FOV slider. They said they hear us, it's coming in a week or two. It just couldn't be ready by launch. But outside of that, like, honest criticism from me, I don't really have any. Like, the people saying the campaign's too short, like, I don't need a 60-hour campaign. Like, this was a perfect story for me. Like, I was so happy when I played it and finished it. I thought the bosses were cool. I would have liked to see maybe more mini-bosses mixed in, because I love doing the bosses. But I don't want to spoil who they are, because there's a story and something happens with your character. So, yeah, I mean, it's just a really good, fun time with your friends. But I will say, if you like Warhammer at all, kind of play alone first through the campaign once yourself, so you can let this sink in. Like, this is the type of game you want to sink into your bones and drink in. Like, the attention to detail that they pulled off, I'm telling you, it's just awesome. It's just fun. Like, I really do like this game a lot. I really think that everybody should play this game.
Can I ask one more question though? So the levels themselves, like, it is like a Gears of War-ish, where you have a linear path through like a set piece. Go on to the next one.
Yeah, it's a bit linear. Yeah, you're kind of going. It's like a linear path, but the world does feel big and grand. Like, I can't explain it. Like, you look out at the view of the field and the sky, and you feel like by the time this game is over, you have been through a war. And by the way, you feel like you've been through it with your brothers, because I played alone first with the co-op partners, and then I tried a little co-op on a harder difficulty with my friends. I think that's the way to do the harder difficulties. The harder difficulties alone are probably harder to pull off. Like, there's like veteran, and then there's like super death mode. And I don't know if I'd recommend that mode alone. But
is that what they call it in the menu?
I forget. It's like Angel of Death mode. super death mode would be my hard mode to game. But yeah, you even though because I don't really like linear games really, and I don't really love single player story games. You guys know that's not like my cup of tea, and I'm not even like totally into like Gears of War and Doom or anything like that. I just think they're kind of cool. For some reason, this hit me in a way where I was like, you know what, this is just badass and fun. I just felt like they did such a good job of.
Is the Gears comparison just because they're big giant football players?
I think a little bit, yeah. I mean, I can't speak to that exactly because I haven't played Gears in ages, and I never liked Gears, but I love this.
Well, so Gears is all about the cover system, really. That was
yeah, exactly. That's exactly why I differentiated it to me in my head. I'm saying to me it's not Gears because there's no cover, and it's more about the countering. And you know, some people are saying on the hard modes it's going to feel a bit more like the Remnant Dark Souls feel of like having to actually counter and dodge, and if you want to play in a more difficult way, like that's the way I've heard it's very fun with friends. Like put it on hard and have a good time. But even just to put it on normal and go through yourself through the campaign, I think it's such a great experience that like everybody should play this game. And you know, even if you don't touch the PvP, even if you don't touch the operations, if you're ready for a 15-20 hour campaign,
I'm interested.
And you catch this game.
I wonder how it is on a Steam Deck.
So the Steam Deck support, they said it's 100% approved coming by December.
Okay.
So I mean, maybe you pick this up on a Christmas sale, play the Steam Deck.
Vacation game.
Yeah, but I mean, it's going to be impressive if they get this running right on a Steam Deck, because like I said, one of the best looking games I've seen with this many things on the screen at once. Like, it's just a beautiful
The game I was thinking by the way is Exoprimal, and that had the most I've ever seen in a game. With the dinosaurs falling out of the sky and shit. Yep. Like thousands of them.
I mean, I feel like, this may be, who knows, it may beat it, but yeah, no, I really like this game. I mean, I don't know if it's going to be my game of the year, but I really, it's up there. I can see it. Yeah, if you're a Warhammer fan, you probably, like, I give this game an 8. I think if you're a Warhammer fan, this could easily be a 10 for you, because I think they really did do it justice. And look, I hope the Warhammer movies and series with Henry Cavill actually happen at Amazon. I know they're up in the air right now, but that would be so awesome. And so it's just good to see like quality Warhammer stuff coming, because there's so much stuff based on Warhammer, except it's like the pussified, cheesy version of it, like World of Warcraft. But like this game doesn't pull any punches there. Like, it's dark, it's Warhammer, and everything is just awesome about it. So I hope more people try it and play it. Get together with your friends, play the campaign, and just have a good old, like an old-fashioned gaming time where, because I saw a lot of people go, well, why isn't this more live service? And you got to give us more in 2024. We need more than just some campaigns. Like, why? Why can't you just make a good campaign?
But it has all the online modes, so that's...
It does. They put those in there.
Right.
It does, but I don't know. Apparently that's not enough.
You know, you just described Call of Duty, really. You know, you get like a 6-8 hour campaign, and then you play multiplayer for the rest of the year.
Well, that's the thing. And for me, the campaign was longer, and I haven't talked to anybody personally who blew through the campaign in less than 10 hours. So the people saying it's 6, it's junk, I really do think they put it on easy. They skipped every cutscene, and they blew. Don't do that. Like, this, like, explore, like, kill things, watch the cutscenes. They're really good, actually. I love the story. So yeah, like I said, this is a game where it's not a question of if you play, it's just when. Like, every gamer should try this game. Every gamer should play this game, and I hope it goes on sale and people are willing to buy it, because some people don't want to shell out 50, 60 bucks for, because it was 50 bucks on Fanatical. Some people don't want to shell out 50, 60 bucks for a campaign game, but like I said, there is, you know, the operations, and there is the PvP, so you do get extra stuff. Horde mode is coming, so it was just a good time. I'm so glad I played it. I also did try something that's on Game Pass, and we have had some people saying that they missed the What the Fuck is on Game Pass segment. So I know, John, you and I are both bringing up Game Pass games tonight. So mine I'm bringing up is Age of Mythology Retold. It did come to Game Pass. You know, it's redone, and a lot of people are saying they love the way they redid it graphically. I think it's okay. It's acceptable. I played this game long ago, but I don't remember much about it, and I just kind of started playing again, and it was fun. Like, it's just kind of a chill time. You get to pick gods from the different ages and, like, sort of combine them. I don't know if you guys have ever played this at all.
I've never heard of it, but it's on Game Pass.
Okay. Yeah, so it's just an RTS, right? You're training reinforcements. You're ordering your villagers around. They're, you know, just go pick berries, go pull gold. You know, the incoming, you know, horde of the enemies. I'm saying horde, whatever. The incoming enemies are coming all around, so you're fighting them, but at the same time you're building up your base, and then you're attacking them with ships. You know, but this one, they are allowing mods. There's multiplayer. So I think this is like a good Game Pass game for me, because it's probably not something that I would pick up on Steam. But because it was on Game Pass, I wanted to kind of play it.
Hey, kind of
Oh God.
Will you? Okay.
Yeah.
Let me see the graphics here. Is this on the console one as well, or just PC exclusive? Because I don't feel like I've seen it.
I don't know.
I haven't seen this. This looks like
what's the name of the game? I'm sorry.
Age of Mythology Retold.
Oh yeah, okay.
This looks like Peter Molyneux-ish, but maybe that's just.
Yeah, I mean, if you played like Warcraft 2 or anything, or any of the classic RTSs, like it's just what
Is it
Age of
basic?
Empires.
Does it do nothing special? Or?
Well, I mean, it's the old game, so but I think they brought it up to date with adding mods and multiplayer. I think I don't know if it had multiplayer back in the day, but no, I had a good time with this. It's just kind of like I said. I'm glad it's on Game Pass. I would have never purchased this, but I spent a night playing, and I'll probably spend another night playing. And you go through these missions. You can choose to side with the Greeks, Egyptians, Norse, Atlanteans, combine like different ages of time with all the different gods, and you have certain powers you can use, like you can shit down Zeus lightning on them so you get to sort of be a god while you're playing and controlling your people, and that is what I thought was pretty cool about it. So yeah, a little bit of a black and white thing, but just a typical RTS. So check out Age of Mythology Retold if you do have Game Pass. Now, something else that I don't know if either of you are interested in, but I had like a little bit of high hopes for it, and it sort of, quote, shadow dropped for me because I didn't know this was the date of it actually coming out. It's the Elder Scrolls Castles from Bethesda. Randomly came out on iOS. So what it is a mobile game from
Was this tied
Bethesda.
into the Apple event, by the way?
I think they kind of timed it, but I didn't see it at the Apple event, so I can't say. But it did seem like weird timing to me. So this game came out, and look, I did like Fallout Shelter, which was another mobile Bethesda game. But this to me seemed like it's got a little bit of that, but then they try to lean in more on the kingdom managing thing. So you pick a leader and you get to make choices for your kingdom, and people get happy, sad, all that stuff. But I didn't love the art style going in, and I was like, all right, let me just give it a chance to see what this is about. And it just ended up being all of the worst things about mobile gaming for me. Like, it really did seem like a reskin. I don't feel any Elder Scrolls-ness in this game at all. I feel like there was a game and they slapped Elder Scrolls on it.
Style? What is
like they just
I don't like the art style.
Did they use that before? These little cartoony worlds?
And it didn't seem like I'd heard, like, I don't know, like they were Khajiit in there and stuff, and things from like Elder Scrolls, but like as somebody who's played all the Elder Scrolls games, like I was like, this doesn't feel like Elder Scrolls. It doesn't even look like it. There's nothing going on with it, but whatever. But then there was a certain point you hit in the game where everything you did had a pop-up telling you to buy stuff in the store. Get these gems. Are you sure you don't want to buy these gems? Are you sure you don't want to buy these packs and gamble for villagers? Are you sure you don't want to do this? Like, it was and then they literally tell you, hey, watch a video and we'll give you coins. Like, it just felt so cheesy and wrong. Like, you guys you shouldn't do this in like a premium mobile game. Because I'm telling you, I just came off.
Or is it free download?
No, it's free, but I just came off putting 100 hours into Swords of Convaleria, which is an actually very well done mobile game, and they don't do this sort of shit. Like, there's no like, hey, you should really watch this video and we'll give you coins. Like a pop-up telling you to do it. I spent more time trying to get out of the menus than I did managing my kingdom here. So the Elder Scrolls Castles from Bethesda is actually shit. It's really, really, really shit. And I'm not a mobile gamer, but I had my iPad broken out. I was ready because it said it was, designed for iPad too. And I'm like, great, it's gonna actually look good. And like I said, loved Fallout Shelter. This is bad. And if this is what we're going to see from Microsoft's moving into mobile space, because I know they purchased Activision Blizzard, which came along with, what was it, King something that did Candy Crush, and I know they're supposed to be releasing basically mobile versions of all these properties. I heard there's another Warcraft mobile game coming, another Diablo. It's like, if you're going to start shitting out more of these mobile games, they got to be better, and they got to feel more premium.
So, this game came out last year, and did they take it away?
That was early.
Okay.
No, that was early access.
And it was on Xbox and PC last year, I'm reading.
Xbox? I never heard of that. That's weird. I heard they tested a very small group of people, like letting people test it.
Yeah, I'm on a Reddit threads from 2023 saying that you can officially play it on Xbox and PC. There's an official way to do it.
Huh. I don't know about that, but I'd be interested to see it.
So that was early access a year ago, and then they took it away, and then now
I tried to get in, and there was no way to get in. Like, I've been trying to play this for a long time. So I signed up for my early access alert on iOS, and I got an alert on my iPad that said, hey, you can now play Elder Scrolls Castles. That's the only way I knew today was the date. It just seemed like weird. They knew everybody would have their iPhones out.
I would think they would put this on Game Pass and Xbox and everything.
Exactly. I mean, all the good mobile games, like the really, really good ones coming from Asia and some here, are PC mobile crossover. And so, but that's not going to save this game. Like, it's a bad reskin. I was really let down with it because I love Elder Scrolls. My favorite series.
There's no gameplay hook here? Like, there's nothing about the gameplay you like that you do if you didn't have to pay?
I mean, It was so there's combat in the game like eventually, but you don't do anything. You just watch people fight, and it's just I don't know. You can make outfits for your people like that are working. I thought that was cool. So you can like if I put a guy to work in the oil shop, I can give him an oil outfit, and then he does better with the oil. You know, there's some of that RPG managing, which I thought was cool. But it's an Elder Scrolls game. Like you have to give us more things to do and abilities and leveling up on things. It really became and you build onto your castle, which was cute, but it was really just a tapping and then getting an ad simulator. It's not well done. It really isn't. I don't know what sort of ratings it has on iOS, but for me it was a massive letdown because I'm thinking give me a skin, even a reskinned Fallout Shelter with Elder Scrolls stuff because I love Elder Scrolls. Like I love everything about Elder Scrolls. I used to love the world, the music, the characters, the story. Like even Elder Scrolls Online, like I played all of the games and then this is just shit. I can't play this at all. So, yeah, it was a great gaming week, though, outside of Elder Scrolls.
I can play this on the Mac, by the way.
You don't want to. You really, really don't want to.
You could,
so,
and you know what?
Yeah.
But there's better things to play.
I know. I don't want to play it, but it's just interesting to me that it's on the Mac, too.
Yeah, so great gaming week. My pick, and I'm telling everybody to eventually try Warhammer 40k Space Marine 2. I am just drinking 1 true lemon, 1 true lime, and water.
I played some stuff. So it was the second weekend for Call of Duty, Black Ops 6. You know, that's exciting to me. So,
of course.
How did it go? Is it changing? Are you feeling different about it,
John?
I mean,
the way they always do these betas is it starts out very basic, and then they start giving you more maps, more modes, more unlocks, and all that shit. So the second week, the level was 20 to 30. I did get to the max level on the first week, which was 20, and then they extended it to 30 this week. I got to 25. I didn't finish it. I really wanted to, but I ran out of time. I was playing the other game, Matt. But I'm telling you, you know what? It was like the greatest weekend because I was bouncing back and forth between Astrobot and Call of Duty. Like, that is like perfection to me.
Yeah, I mean, this year is shaping up to be like a great gaming year. People said it was going to suck, and like me just coming off Warhammer, you guys coming off Astro, I'm like every couple of weeks here, there's like a fucking great game to play because I just played Wukong too.
Hits after hits right now. I think, like going into Christmas.
So, I'll say this: my biggest critique about Call of Duty this time around is the maps are just too small. And they even came out and said it, and they said, yeah, here's the 16 maps, and they go from small to medium, and they don't get any bigger. So I'm assuming they're kind of acknowledging that, but it's sucking some of the fun, because if you're not in the mood for small maps, nonstop dying and killing, you get no relief.
Oh, you mean you can't camp into your corner as much as you used to?
I do like larger maps. I like camping. This is true. I like sniping. I do. Yeah. And so they did at level 21 because I was wondering because in the first weekend I had no claymores. I had no mines. That's always my explosive loadout. Is to have either claymores or mines. And at level 21 they gave us something new, which is like some proximity gas bomb or gasoline bomb, and I played around with that. It's decent enough, and they did add some new mode this weekend that I didn't get to try, but I'm curious about it, and it didn't happen to me, but you can disguise yourself as the other team, and then I think talk to them too.
Oh no, over your mic again?
Yeah.
So it's
grab them from the back and whisper.
No, you disguise yourself as the enemy, and then you go on the enemy side pretending to be them as like a spy.
I kind of love that.
You do?
I like that idea.
But I didn't get to try it, and I never saw it. I didn't see anyone do it, but I know it was there, and I kind of wish I would have played more just to experience that, but I didn't. So the game
more multiplayer had that. Like, remember Assassin's Creed? It's always my favorite multiplayer where you had to sneak and pretend you're an NPC. I wish more multiplayer games had that element.
Yeah, like an Among Us type thing or something.
like a tricking people element.
Right. So yeah, I'm completely jazzed about October 26th, I think it is. And then I did play, besides Astrobot, a game called Star Trucker.
Yes.
Oh, tell me about this.
Not to be confused with Star Fucker, which I think Matt is with Creed, right? Aren't you really into them?
That's for lizard ladders.
Me and Creed have nothing to do with the show. Go on. That relationship has no bearing on this.
All right, so, listen, when I was a kid in 5th grade, they asked us to draw our dream job on a piece of paper.
No. You've been wanting to sell drugs for this long.
No. So I drew a truck driver, you know, an 18-wheeler.
What?
Yeah, because when I was a kid, like Smokey and the Bandit.
That's your dream, to be a truck driver. Anybody can be a truck driver.
When I was in 5th grade, Michelle.
You're supposed to reach higher, astronaut.
No, truck driver's a skill, Michelle. You ever tried driving one of these things?
You have to understand, in the 80s, but in the 80s and I guess late 70s, there was a series of movies and series about truck driving. You know,
Look, Over the Top with Sylvester Stallone, one of my great favorites as a kid, so I'll give you that.
What was the arm wrestling
Smokey and the
one?
Bandit, come on.
That's Over the Top. That's Over the Top.
Yeah.
That's,
So
Smokey and the Bandit, BJ and the Bear.
Steven Spielberg had one with a truck, like a possessed truck.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Overdrive, whatever it was called, Maximum Overdrive or something like that. It was like a
one word.
AC/DC.
So you're getting to live out your childhood fantasies.
But
yeah,
combined with another genre of games, I actually like Star Citizen. These kind of space flight games.
Duel is what it's called.
Yeah, Duel. I know there's an AC/DC song in that movie. But okay, so this game is on Game Pass. Thank you, Phil.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, kind of bored tonight. I wonder.
Oh, they got going for them. This Game Pass.
Yeah, it's on Game Pass. So, so I installed it on my Xbox and on my PC, and this game is you are in space. You have this truck that you are maintaining and driving.
Thanks for explaining the title.
Okay.
Yep, the title. This is good.
But you have like this really cool space cab, and it looks kind of like a 80s Peterbilt or something. But it's space-ified. You know, it's bigger. Yeah. You have this big cab in the back. You have sleeping quarters. And you have all these different like kind of stations that you're maintaining, like for oxygen and gravity and air filters and stuff. And a big part of the game is maintaining your truck, and it's kind of cool because as soon as it starts, your truck's got problems, and you have to put your spacesuit on and go on a spacewalk outside the cab and patch it up and get back inside. And you'll be doing that a lot because if you run into anything, the cabin, the truck is compromised. You have to get the spacesuit on and go outside and fix it and come back in, or you'll be driving the truck and all of a sudden your battery is low. You got to stop the truck, get out of the seat, go in the back, find a battery, put it in, and then continue on your way. Oh, now the air filter's dirty. You got to stop the truck, get out, find an air filter, take the old one out, put a new one in, and get in. And then you have to do the missions, and it's like a GTA type thing. You have a giant
But why
map.
do you have wheels in space?
There's no wheels. There's no wheels. There's no wheels.
All right.
there's no wheels. No wheels.
Okay.
Only boosters and rockets. Okay, Michelle.
Gotcha.
But it looks like a truck that might have wheels, but instead it has little rockets. Okay.
I gotcha.
And so it is a mission-based game. You're basically picking up loads and then delivering them. And so you
Which
have
is what Matt McCarthy does every weekend.
That's right. And so you have to back up. So a big part of the game is backing up to the trailer.
Yep, it is. I've been there.
Attaching it, like Euro Truck Simulator, which I probably should play. I know that's a big part of that game. And so at first the controls are gonna drive you insane. They just are. Okay, because first of all, you're like floating in space. You're not grounded. There's left, right, up, down, sideways, left, sideways, right. Your truck's just floating all around in all different directions. There's no up, there's no down, there's no left, there's no right.
I like that though.
So you have to get used to that, and you will. And I saw it as like a challenge. I'm like, just take your time, calm down. You can do this. And you could back into the trailer and hook it up. And when you back up, you have a little camera. You can see you have to line up the target, and then you pull a lever to latch it on, and then you deliver the goods to your target, which is some warehouse somewhere in the next galaxy. And you have like little, like portals that warp you to the next area. And that's kind of it. And you might get inspected when you go. You might get pulled over and say, hey, you got to go to the weigh station, and you got to weigh your load to make sure you're complying.
Questions, Matt Bradford.
Yes, yeah. Hi.
Just a couple clarifying questions. Is the space setting justified? Do you see aliens? Is there cool space things happening?
It's pretty straightforward, at least so far.
So how is this different if you were just on Earth?
It's the space. It's the freedom in the space.
Is it just like when movies go to space because they have nothing left to do? Like, but is there a reason it's in space? Is what I'm saying.
Yes, you're a space trucker, Matt. So like
you'll
you'll
plot. But like, what? How does the game justify being like we're a space game other than putting stars?
Because
and
you go into an
rockets?
area and there's all these like space stations everywhere, right? And this one has a place that has jobs. You can dock in and get jobs. This place is a gas station. You could dock there. But it's the freedom of moving around in the area that you're in.
Space hookers? Are there space
No,
lot
there's
lizards?
no space lot lizards. I haven't seen that. You do have a CB radio, and you're constantly talking to people, too. Like, that's a big part of the game. The radio, there's a radio in the cab that's playing really great music, honestly. I don't recognize a single song, but it sounds right. Like, the music they picked, and they're running it through a filter, so it sounds kind of lo-fi, like going through the truck speakers.
It has that atmosphere that they've kind of, because it looks cool.
It really does, yeah.
Yeah.
Criticisms, I can't stand the field of view, and you can't change it. Like, you're so fucking... everything's obstructed when you're in the cab. Like, I do like doing these kind of games first person in the cab, not outside. I mean, in Battlefield, I usually do go outside the cabin, you know, to get like a third person view of the helicopter. But in this, like the third person view, like isn't as good as being in the cab. But you're so obstructed with the windows and the stuff. And by the way, like if you lose gravity in your cab, which will happen if you don't maintain it or stay on top of it. Like everything starts floating in the cab, like in front of the windows, and you can't see out, so you have to like pull over and fix it, and then everything falls down, and you have to clean up the mess it made, which is kind of funny.
Do you like sleep in your cab and then call your space kid on his?
I haven't done any of that yet. I played the game for like an hour and a half, and I haven't had to sleep at all. There is energy drinks. And maybe there's some uppers I can take so I can keep playing.
What are you delivering? Did you say? Is it like
I delivered some canned goods. That was one of my missions. It was a trailer full of canned goods.
Okay.
I did get my precious cargo license because there is like a talent tree that allows you to carry different kinds of cargo. And
you're gonna be running some illegal stuff. That's where
eventually you will. Yeah, I know that there's
Okay.
contraband. Yes, I know that's in there.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
maybe that's part of the talent tree. So the first license I got was the ability to carry sensitive or easily damaged goods. And so if you get that license, you'll get those missions, but you can't fuck up or run into anything because you'll get dinged. And you're trying to get everything there in one piece, and then you get the money. And then you take the money, you can upgrade your truck, you can get paint jobs. There's all kinds of like truck stops and places like that. So I think the game is decent, but not perfect by any means. But I really do appreciate what they're doing here. I think the second game will be a lot better. Like,
good. It's a good Game Pass game. Once again,
it's a great Game Pass game. It checks some boxes for me. It's fun, but yeah, it's good.
All right. Now let's talk about Astrobot.
Yeah, and I'm drinking. All right, so let's do our round table or whatever.
Do it. What's that? Well, you know what we have to do for this, John? We have to summon like 30 Astrobots to help bring us to the table.
Oh, that's right.
You got to summon a bunch of 5-year-old kids because that's what this game looks like. It's 4.
Shell, you can go on the astroplane.
Yeah.
Look, we have to balance this out. We can't all love Astrobot.
All right. Okay. Listen. All right. Let's back up. All right. We're gonna set this up. Okay. So, the original Astrobot came out on PSVR for PS4, and it was hands down, without a doubt, my favorite VR game to date. And besides Flight Simulator, and I think Matt, you might agree, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
That was just a magical fucking game. And it was awesome. And I loved every minute of it. And then...
way ahead of its time.
Yeah. And then...
totally underrated.
And then on the PS5, they did a tech demo, basically, that came with the PS5 to show off the new controller and all the little features of it. And that was very short, maybe an hour... How long was that? Like an hour or two or something? Like it was.
Isn't there one before the VR though? Wasn't there like a small little demo? I think so. Dude.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Before the VR.
Before the VR, I think there was like a little.
Get out of here.
I think so. I never played it, but PS4.
No.
Astrobot's Playroom. Yeah.
Last reload.
Yeah, that's the one. Wait.
Out of ammo.
That was.
Astrobot
You guys
Rescue
just
Mission.
talk about Astrobot.
No. This is
get your facts right.
We're doing the history of this game. This is the history section.
Okay. Astrobot games.
I'm looking
Usually
at.
it's good to do the prep work
So
before the
Astro's
show.
Playroom came out in 2020. That's the game that was on.
No, 2013, in a PlayStation 4's augmented reality capability.
Oh my God.
Yeah, okay, so 2018, you're right. The first full game was Astrobot Rescue Mission. But I swear to God, there was another one somewhere in the middle. Anyway, okay. I'm
But
sorry.
Astrobot Rescue Mission is a VR game.
Right, but there's also another like bite-sized demo one.
Yeah, Astro's Playroom. That's
had.
the one that came with the PS5.
No, but like for PS4 is what I'm saying.
All right, whatever.
I'm not going. Is it the Mandela effect? Is that what we're doing? All right.
There was the
Oh, wait.
Playroom. It came out in 2013.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That's a game, isn't it?
So anyway, Astrobot, we have a review coming up
No,
here. I know you
no,
guys
it's
have been
important
waiting.
that we.
Um,
So the Playroom,
yeah.
the Playroom was a demo for the camera, for this PlayStation camera. Looks like
Okay, so that's technically his first game, though.
probably. I guess somehow I missed that or didn't realize it.
I never played it either, but I kind of want to now.
Yeah. All right. So
Anyways.
the meaningful games were the PSVR one and the PS5 demo, right? I think so. And then now this game comes out 2024. This is a full-fledged 3D platformer, not VR. Kind of, they took that tech demo that came with the PS5 and just blew it up. And so obviously I love Mario games, especially 3D ones. I mean Mario 64, Mario Sunshine. Some of my favorite games of all time.
People are saying this is like Galaxy.
No way I'm missing it.
Sunshine, Galaxy.
That's what Cece said.
Oh, well, I mean, really, Sunshine, because his ability with a jetpack is very much how Mario works in Sunshine with the water jetpack.
So if you're a Mario fan, you want to play Astrobot right off
my
the bat,
God,
right?
yes.
Oh my God, you do.
Okay.
So
Okay.
this game is set up with all these different worlds, and you go to all these different like galaxies. Each galaxy has like 5 or 6 planets. Each planet is very unique, very diverse. Like it's crazy. Like just name a setting, it's here. Okay, there's a snow one. There's a tropical island. There's a haunted one. There's a
Casino.
There's a casino. There's
Are
Japanese.
they tied to PlayStation characters? Because I saw
Yes.
like Kratos.
This is a love letter to PlayStation and Sony, and just video games in general. Because the object of the game is to collect these little robot guys, right? And you have to find there's 7 in each world. You have to find them, and they're hidden like fucking crazy. And you have to explore like mad. And some of them are video game themed. So you'll rescue one that looks like Crash Bandicoot. You'll rescue one that looks like Nathan Drake. You'll rescue one that looks like
Last of Us people.
the Devil's May Cry
Resident
guy. And
Evil.
it's not just Sony stuff. It's everything, including Days.
There's 167 of these mascots, and they go
Yes.
pretty deep. Like we're Shadow of the Colossus type.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like there's Parappa the Rapper. There's and some of them you're like, oh, I recognize that, but I don't remember what game that is. So,
But also too, once you rescue them, you bring them back to your homeworld,
yes.
and they live there, and they have their own like unique animations. Then you can buy them accessories,
Well, you can win
So,
them
like-
accessories in the little capsule toy machine.
and then they have even cooler animations.
So Michelle,
And I know
might
Michelle's going,
find
like,
I might find the Kratos Astrobot guy, and I'll
Yeah.
dump him off at my home base, and then I'll go do the capsule toy, and I'll win his axe. And now he has the axe on display.
But what does he do?
Nothing.
He just walks
I'm just
around
collecting
holding
him. Yes.
Okay. So it's a doll collector for little children, just like I said. No. Okay.
So I want to speak to what John
Yeah.
is saying. This is one of the strengths of it. Every single level is unique. Like no level is in Mario have like kind of samey. I'm not putting down
Yeah.
Mario, but I'm saying what I love about this is
Put him
like
down,
you
man.
just don't know what you're gonna do in each of these levels. New mechanics. Like in one you're like you can go back and forth between like the size of a mouse and the normal size.
Right.
In another you can slow down time. Like
It's unbelievable.
really
Like you'll go into a
cool.
world and some of these levels, most of the levels have a chest right away, and usually there's some cute creature in there that comes with you, and that creature gives you an ability.
Does it seem like the worlds could all be their own games, or some universes, or own like brand? Are they that
Yeah,
good?
they're all different
Yes,
ideas.
they're that fucking good.
Yeah.
Like this game is polished to a level of polish that I've never seen
God.
in
Yeah.
for a platform. I mean, this is beyond Nintendo, maybe. It's close.
Interesting.
I mean, it's like if Nintendo had a really powerful console. Mario,
Nintendo's resting on their laurels. They're too comfortable with what they've been
Yeah.
doing. They're not innovating.
This is
Sounds like
gonna shake
Sony's
them up.
innovating.
I think it is
It's
too.
gonna shake them up.
I
Some
think it is
pressure.
too, Matt. Like because Like graphically, it is pretty awesome, and I recommend going into the HDR and turning on the bright mode. I actually really like it a lot than the
And people are
standard.
saying the physics in the game is actually pretty impressive, with tons of things on the screen, running around with apples.
yeah.
I saw like crazy.
It's smooth as butter, 60 frames. I'm pretty confident all the time, and
And like you said, Michelle, with the hordes, like sometimes you have 100 robots surrounding you and nothing slows down, or
Yep.
1,000 beach balls are in the air, just like little particle physics, leaves, everything. Like there's one ice cream level with sprinkles on the top, and I know that sounds
yeah,
dumb.
thousands of sprinkles.
It's so fucking satisfying because the controller you're playing with moves and has all these sounds associated with everything you're doing. So you hit the sprinkles, it vibrates a little, it makes a little sprinkly sound. It's a joyful game, is what I'm saying. There's
Yeah.
so many joyful
Every
moments.
minute I've spent with this game, I've been happy. Like it just makes you happy. That's all I can say. And
There's just an inner revoltingness of it to me. It's just weird how they. I'm not. That's just a me thing. Like I don't know, but like I want to play this and try it, but it's like.
so
What would I like in it, knowing me?
well, let me explain
'Cause
more
you
of the
said
game.
collecting outfits, which is interesting.
Well, that's just like you get these coins, Michelle. You're collecting all these coins, and the way to spend them. One of the ways to spend them is to use the capsule toy machine, which
But
gives.
it's a challenging platform.
It's
Is that the core of the
yes,
gameplay?
challenging. Oh, yeah, for
Okay.
sure.
At times it gets
Okay.
really fucking hard. Like
Okay.
at times not so hard. But the platforming is so good. Like it's just so tight. Like you always feel like you're gonna land where you want to land. You know, like some games you jump to some platform and because of whatever reason visually you just miss it because like that never happens here. Like it's just like you always get a sense of where everything is and where you're gonna land, and they did such a
I
good
wonder
job
if
with
Sony's
that.
going to make an Animal Crossing killer.
I don't know.
Because they should venture into more Nintendo areas, right? Because
Michelle,
Yeah.
I want to explain the more Nintendo type stuff. So they take full
Yeah.
advantage of the controller in a way Nintendo would, with motion controls and everything it does. Okay, so
Absolutely.
and this game again is a love letter to the PlayStation 5. Your ship that you're. So what happens is all the Astrobots are in a PS5 spaceship, and they're going through space, and an alien basically steals their CPU. Okay, and so they crash. And all the parts are gone, and now you have to repair the PlayStation 5. And you're going into the levels, trying to get to the boss, and then the final level after it to get the missing piece of the PS5. So I got the RAM, I got the the GPU, whatever, and to install these parts back on the PS5, it uses the motion controls fully of the PS5 controller. And some scenes or some areas, you'll come across these flowers, and you're like, oh, what do I do with it? Well, you have to blow on the controller. And these are little like spinny flowers.
I don't
But-
want to do that
Or
stupid
the God
shit.
of War level, you blow into the horn and you
That's
summon a
great if you're a
gigantic
kid.
worm.
It's been done.
Well, it's very Nintendo type stuff. And so
Spit into my fucking controller.
and when you're flying, and so his little spaceship, his little X-wing fighter, whatever, is the PlayStation controller, and you use the motion controls to navigate at the beginning of every level. There might be little bonus things to grab, and you're flying with the tilting the controller. So they really did a good job of taking advantage of most things the PS5 controller can do. And I can say I confidently that a lot of games don't. They just ignore that those features are there. Wouldn't you agree, Matt? Like
Yeah, I didn't know. I forgot my controller did half of these things. And to
Yeah.
the level that it can, because you can feel the tiny footsteps. You can almost feel the water rushing or like little
Yes.
leaves being hit. Like they really know how to use this controller, and the sounds coming out of it are no other developers using the controller like this game.
right, it's completely immersive. Like you feel like you're in these little worlds just by simple vibration and little sound cues coming from the controller and not from
Yeah.
your big speakers in your entertainment center. Like, I mean, I don't know what else to say about this, but like if you're in a
It's
3D,
just joyful.
it's
just
Are there bosses
surprises.
to kill?
Yes,
They jump
and
on
they're
your head?
great.
Bosses are fantastic.
bosses are awesome.
Kind of. Yeah.
The bosses can be challenging, and and there's also like I love that one level with the giant robot that you have to free, Matt, and then you climb on top of him.
Oh, Big Brother.
Yes.
Yeah. And then he lifts you up to the
How
higher
was the
levels.
combat?
too.
It'd be cool if could you take. Oh, thank you for the gift.
The combat is so his ability. I kill mostly everybody with the jetpack,
Okay.
Yeah. You can laser him with your laser feet.
It'd be
and
cool if you could
Jetpack, yeah,
bring one
laser
of the
feet.
companions along with you. So if you brought Kratos and then he has his axe, he fights with you.
Well, you have-
I bet they're gonna do a lot more with this.
well, yeah. There is a level with Uncharted with Nathan Drake where Nathan gives you his gun, and then you finish the
Cool.
level with his gun.
Yeah. See, I like to hear stuff like that. That sounds
Yeah,
cool.
and there's a God of War level like that too, where you're Kratos with your axe, and you're using the same
Yep.
axe mechanics.
And it's interesting because the Sony world is kind of not necessarily strong enough to carry that for you, John, because I know you've always not really been a huge Sony fan, but you still like appreciate the characters and the way they did it. So it shows you don't have to be a Sony fan to like this game.
Well, listen, I've been saying for at least the last 3-4 years that this is Sony's Mario, and they need to do this, and they finally did it. They did exactly what I was asking for.
And they did it in a way that you guys both liked it, because they could have flopped an Astrobot game. Like, this was a bigger success than I think you guys even thought, probably.
I would say so.
It's a bit surprising. I want to ask you, though, John, since we both played the VR, they borrow a lot of kind of the settings.
I was trying to figure that out myself, Matt, because I know the music for sure, and like some of the train, like the little worm train things with the hard hats. I remember those.
The construction site and kind of the haunted house. It's not the same levels at all, but they're kind of like they went back to the VR and said, you know what? Not many people play this game. We're just gonna borrow some of the concepts we were trying in the VR and do it again. Yeah. And I noticed a lot of stuff coming.
I did too. There was a lot of stuff that I'm like, okay, I kind of remember this, but I wasn't positive. You know what I mean? Like it seems familiar. Because I mean,
it's not copying. They're not like it's a completely new game. They're just like I remember. I remember doing this in a level.
You feel like you're in the world, or you're in the Astrobot world.
So some of the criticism I have for the game is this: objective complete. I often finish a level before I want to.
Yeah. Can't just explore it all.
Requesting air support.
I'm trying to explore everything, but the levels are branching. Okay. And if you go left, there might be a secret, but if you go right and you don't know it, you'll be sucked into the ending of the level and you can't go back. Like
it's fine. It's an excuse to play it again.
I know, but that is like I'm not done. I want to keep exploring, and then I go right, and I'm like, ah, fuck, this is the ending. And then it does like this big ceremony where a flag comes down and all this shit, and you can't get out of it. You're stuck there. So if you wanted to explore to the left, you have to start the level again. And then when you start the level again, in the beginning, Matt, I don't know if you did this, you could spend 200 coins to get a little helper robot that follows you around with a radar. No, you don't.
Shame. Don't do that.
So that's my big critique with the game is that, like Mario 64, all of those levels you revisited many times, and the level would be a little bit different each time, like for the different stars that you had to get. With this game, a lot of the times you play the level one time and it's so great and you never have to go back ever again.
Yeah, here's a question, because Old Cranky mentions Little Big Planet. I've heard a bunch of people talking about Little Big Planet.
Nah, this is way better.
Nothing like it? Okay.
Way better.
Insanely better. I mean, same kind of joyful vibe to it.
Way better. Way better.
This is way better.
Listen, I played all the, as far as I know, I've played all the Little Big Planets, especially the last one. It's just not even close. It's just not even close.
It's interesting you said that, John. That was as your criticism, because my criticism too is like it's a weird criticism. It's going too fast for me. I'm like, I love this game so much.
I'm not ready to end the level, and here I am with the flag.
Yeah, it should feel more open worldy and connected, where you can run into the different levels and just explore them if you want. Like, don't kick you out.
And then also,
for me, it's also just John.
I was gonna say, and then also there's those warp levels that warp you out of the level to that little alternate galaxy. So like you'll be in the middle of a level and you discover a secret and you're all excited, and then it sucks you to another galaxy with a whole other bunch of planets, and then when you do those and go back to your base, you have to go start that level again, even though you exited accidentally by hitting that warp.
Yeah,
these levels are 10 minutes max, right? No, I get that, but one thing that we didn't mention is how many secrets there are in this game. Like, this game is just
endless.
Full.
It's fucking endless. It's literally endless.
You're like, oh shit, there's another level that suddenly appeared that I just discovered by bumping into this asteroid. Like, it's just, there's so many different challenge levels, and 300 of these guys you gotta collect.
Yeah.
And your home base.
How many do you have? I have like 130 or something right now.
I think, I'm like 120. Like, I'm in that range.
So we're about halfway through the game. I had to have played at least 3 or 4 hours.
I played it, and you know what too? Both my kids love this game. I made separate PlayStation files because they wanted to earn their own trophies. Like, they are in love with this game. I have to help my daughter a little bit because it is hard in some points, which I like. I don't want this to be like an easy game. I want this to actually challenge me. But it's great for kids. If you've got kids and you love platformers, your kids will also play this. So it'll be an easier.
It's fantastic.
Zabum says is a Game of the Year contender. It sounds like for these guys it is.
It's
It's up there. I mean, it won't win because it's not a AAA.
But how do you say that? How can you say it's not AAA? It's absolutely AAA.
It's every, but it's not. It's not going to get the mainstream appeal. I don't think.
There's too many like blue hairs that are mad at the developers. I mean, this has a good chance, I think, to be up there.
I've said it a million times on this show. I love 3D platformers, and this is one of the best I've ever played.
So it's up there with better of a Nintendo for you, John, and that comes.
Well, I mean, my favorites. I think Mario Sunshine's my favorite. Then Mario 64. Then probably Odyssey.
Yeah.
Odyssey's great. I didn't like
This
Galaxy.
gives you that same feeling of Odyssey.
I'm in the minority. I know that.
Yeah.
But it's
well, they
it's
had
way
big
up
shoes
there.
to fill, even to be compared to that for you. And I think it's sort of like, you know, right now Nintendo can't make a game like this. They don't have a system that could do this.
I'm going to agree with you because this game is beautiful and like the water effects and the
lighting effects,
the fidelity, the lighting, like it's just like it's like wow, I want to see Mario like this, you know?
Yeah.
I hope this sets off a trend. I hope people see this and they're like, you know what? Let's make a platform. Let's get back to platformers because we don't get too many of these really well-made platforms. There's a ton on Steam. There's
some
of
little
indie platformers.
They never are this good though. They're kind of like
No.
just okay. I don't hate this. This is fun.
Or this big, or this much scaled.
But like you know, Banjo-Kazooie, Mario 64, Mario Sunshine, Odyssey.
Yeah.
There's just not a lot of those anymore, and this is definitely one of those. So I did like the more openness of Banjo-Kazooie though. Like this. That's my only complaint with this game is that the levels are small and then you accidentally finish them and you have to do it again. But it's still fun to do it again. And you are constantly rotating that camera, which I did a lot in VR, Matt, looking all around. Because you'll be on a ledge and you don't realize there's something below you unless you rotate the camera. So like you're constantly using the right stick to just look everywhere. You know, what's up there? What's down here? What's below you? And you're just stopping. And it's fun though.
Yeah, so much to discover. Do you think, after the success of this game, it would be a good idea for them to just release the VR as a normal game? It could still work as a normal game.
Would that still work? I guess it would.
They just need some tweaking, but that's a whole game I think people would absolutely love too if they loved Astro Bot.
But the fact that this doesn't work for the new PSVR 2 is very strange to me. That there's not a. Are they going to add that support? Or is it impossible?
the way the first game worked though is like you were like in a chair. Like looking over the level, kind of.
Yeah, there was a lot of VR components, but they can do something with that. I don't know, but there's that. I just feel that's such a missed opportunity or ahead of its time, and it would do so much better if it was released right now.
Like this, I don't think this game would be as good in VR because the first one was designed for VR. Like where you're like looking on the floor, looking above you, looking behind you, and
yeah, it was genius.
Activating jump pack.
So, all right.
Anyway,
anything else?
Yeah,
one of my favorite games of the year so far, for sure.
Mine too.
Did you play anything else, Matt, this week, or was it just Astro?
I did.
What else?
I guess I can just fit it in. Okay, so Star Wars. Look, I'm gonna go full review point up from my 7 because I got off of Tashara. I went into Tatooine. I went into the ice planet, and this game just like I don't know if they released patches or maybe just the first game doesn't do well with the graphics. I don't know. But once I was in Tatooine, I'm like, this is perfect. This is how I pictured Tatooine. It looks lifelike. It's amazing. I'm in the cantina. It's full of aliens. I'm talking to them. My love for this game kind of skyrocketed, and there's still some points where I'm like, I wish this were a tiny bit better, but I'm having such a blast with this game. Every time I sit down with an objective, I'm like, I find 10 other things to do, and it leads me down so many weird rabbit holes that are so satisfying. And so you just follow a tip somewhere, and all of a sudden you're in a massive underground cave with ancient machines. You're like, how did I even get here? It's one of those type of games. And I think people are, I got off, yeah. I don't know.
But Matt, I totally understand what you're saying, because I want to play more of it. Like,
ooh, I uninstalled it. I haven't thought of it again. I mean, I don't know, because you told me, Matt, like you went through it. You returned it, and then you said after 4 hours it gets better. And then I went and tried to play it with my sister, and I thought she was going to love it. She said to me, this game sucks. Like, the mouth doesn't match the animations when they're speaking. This looks like a game from 1999. I was like, okay, just stick with it, because my co-host says it gets better and better and better after the first 4 hours. So I'm gonna check in with him.
It's like, I think everyone plays games where there's some things I don't like. Diablo 4. I got like, there's games that you still play even though you're like, this could be better. You're right. The cutscene animations could be a tiny bit better, but for me, it's the sum of its parts. And when I'm in those pistol fights, when I'm in the gigantic underground ship jacker yard.
She didn't like the
stealthing.
insta-fill stealth missions at the start, and I'm like, I think they stopped. I mean, I don't know.
They fixed
I
that
get
today.
the hate on this game, but I
fixed that
also
today.
get the people that are just saying,
What did they
like,
fix?
look, insta-fill stealth. I was in the middle of talking. Shut up. This is our debate, John.
What?
Excuse me, I'm talking.
Debate? We're debating?
Yeah.
Now?
It's our debate episode. Yeah, but I was gonna say I kind of get the hate on it too, but I get the love on it too, man. I think you've come to a place of like acceptance where like, you said last week, you're like, once you repurchase the game, you were like, I'm okay with this. Like I'm accepting it for the hate. I'm just gonna enjoy the good of it. And it's like you're getting rewarded for that.
And there's a lot of good. Look, a year later they might fix it, and I hope people revisit it. But yeah, whatever. That's just me. I love it. I'm gonna probably map plat this.
Is it game of the year?
Ooh, we'll see.
Okay.
We'll see in a couple months.
Right.
And that's it. That's I'm drinking Coke Zero.
All right, let's play voicemail.
520 Field VGO. Tiger?
Woo! PS5 Pro announcement was today. Congratulations, Sony. Man, props to them for getting Dana Carvey to come out and announce that PS5 Pro at 700 buckaroos. My God, who in the hell is gonna buy
They
this?
make it bounce.
Hey, I wonder how Concor's gonna run on it.
We're gonna get into that in our debate.
All right, take a break.
Let's take a break.
No.
No, Tiger, you played those out of order because that was voicemail 3, not 2. But that's all right. It was a good setup. So, just all right, Tiger, play a song.
Activating jump
watched, obviously, we're doing the show. We set up a temporary channel in the Discord so they could talk about it civilly.
Civilly.
Yeah. And then I'm deleting it after today.
All right.
Politics are just too divisive. Not these politics. This is a civil
Ready?
topic. Hold on. Okay. Recording.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Extraction complete. Pelican 1 beginning ascent.
All right. I want to welcome you to our first annual PS5 presidential debate. I, of course, am your host, John Tucker Anderson. And on the stage tonight, from California, Senator Madison.
I'm actually from Connecticut. Tucker, you're bad with facts.
And for some reason, from Canada. How did this? From
He can't
Canada.
be trusted. This is rigged.
Well,
Governor-
we're allies with the states.
Governor Bradford. Can you run in this? Okay, well,
He's a
by
lawbreaker.
proxy,
Don't vote
yeah.
him in.
it's going through the Supreme Court, but don't worry about that for now.
Yeah.
so tonight, of course, we will be debating the PS5 Pro and its merits, its validity in the marketplace, its future. We will ask the question, is it necessary? Is it priced correctly? Do you need it?
Are we supposed to be cheering or something between each of these?
I don't
or
know.
Just...
I mean,
Senator Madison, we're going to start
yes.
with you.
Opening
Well,
arguments,
hold
right?
up. It's a coin toss to see who gets to speak first.
Okay, I'm sorry.
He's
Hang
got
on.
the- he flipped the coin in his
I'm
pants.
consulting
Hold
my
on.
notes. You're
I'd
correct.
like to, you know what? I'd like to let the Canadian invasion immigrant go first.
Okay,
Go
opening
ahead, Matthew.
statements.
I don't.
Governor
First of
Bradford.
all, respectfully to my opponent, I'm not an immigrant. John, I'd first
You
like
are.
to say
You're in my
thank you for
country.
the opportunity. Excuse
You're a
me, this is my
Canadian
time to talk.
citizen, sir.
This is my time to talk, ma'am. I'd first like to say, John, I appreciate the opportunity to visit your great country and speak to an issue that's very dear and dear to my heart.
Thank you, Governor.
What was your question, though? Did you have a
Opening
question?
statements.
It's your opening arguments here.
Please,
Opening
please,
statements.
please.
Oh, I didn't.
Senator-
Okay, in these days of inflation and increasingly out of price entertainment options, concerts, movies, multiple streaming channels, do we really need a console that is not a next step but a half step? That takes away some of the freedoms.
Thank you,
of a
Governor
disc
Bradford. Your
drive.
time is up.
Okay.
Senator
Yeah, okay.
Madison.
The candidate here talks about inflation. Adjusted for inflation, the PS3 was $900 at launch. I think $700 is fair considering the new
I think what
Xbox
my
Series
opponent
X.
fails to see
Excuse me,
is
you're not
that
supposed to
we're not
talk
all-
now. You're supposed to be muted.
Please,
This is not a debate.
please.
This is opening.
Okay.
So,
Governor.
considering the new Xbox Series X coming out in November is $600, and it doesn't have new CPU, GPU, it doesn't have AI upscaling technology, it doesn't have faster RAM.
Senator
so
Madison, your
$100 more
time
to
is
get
up.
all that,
Okay,
I don't
so
think
we're
is
gonna
that bad.
Senator. All right.
I think that's her first
Yeah.
warning, right?
Yes. Okay.
What? He talked over it. First of all, I'm
Senator,
an American.
we
We have
have-
special rules. Get this Canadian shithead out of here.
Senator,
Sorry.
Madam. Okay.
Senator Madam.
We're going to do a coin toss.
Toy
A
cost.
coin toss. We're using
Yes.
a guitar pick. If the turtle
Okay.
is up, Governor Bradford will be first.
We already did the opening. Aren't you
Turtle
supposed to
is
ask us
down.
questions?
This is no. I'm now going right to questions.
All right.
Okay.
Senator.
Yeah.
Senator. Governor,
Yes.
please.
Governor.
Yes. Oh,
Senator,
Governor. Yes.
you have stated many
Respectfully,
times
what
that
the hell is your question?
Governor,
What?
I'm asking Madam Senator the question now, please.
Oh, you're Madam Senator.
Madam
Okay, I'm
Senator,
the governor.
you've stated
Sure.
many times on this podcast that you are a PC gamer.
That's right.
Now, this topic seems unrelated to this declaration. You've told people many times on this show to go build a PC, quote unquote. How can they trust an outsider like a PC gamer to have any kind of endorsement or opinion about this console release? And, madam, we should also say that the console will be $700.
Yes, that's right. I think they can trust me because I am an outsider. I'm not tied to the special interest groups of Sony and Microsoft like my opponent here, because I'm not a career console politician, okay? I have no alliances here, allegiances to any of these groups. I'm an impartial third party, which is what you want. I'm fair. And what I see here with the price, like I said, is it's fair because it's only $100 more than the, quote, new Xbox Series X coming out that does not have CPU, GPU, RAM upgrades without the AI upscaling. And as a PC gamer, I know what tech means and what specs mean. And that DLSS is part of the reason why NVIDIA's GPUs beat AMD's GPUs, and that's going to be important as well. So we have Sony trying to take us to the future. We have Xbox saying that 30 FPS is fine. You know, the head of Mark Kearney came out today, and he said that
Madam,
30
I believe
FPS is janky.
I believe it's pronounced Cerny. Thank you. Okay.
I don't give a shit. All right, I don't care about
it's
these people. I'm a PC
disrespectful,
gamer. Fuck
Madam.
y'all.
Okay, your time is up. Governor Bradford.
Yes.
What is your rebuttal to her comments?
Well, look, I think we can toss around terms like DLSS and CPUs until we're blue in the face, right? But at the end of the day,
I'm sorry, when you're talking about a pro, technology matters.
Turn at the mic.
Oh, I forgot.
I think when we're talking about real people who play games, what's going to matter is if the game, people who aren't really up to turn with all these tech
the
jargon.
people of America
like my
here,
opponent, obviously, is in the
call them
realm
crazy
of the tech
cat ladies
giants,
next?
the tech billionaires. She's very much in the pockets of the Elon Musk. She thinks she can just pour money out
This
and
guy
get a
just
lease.
said PC
Most
gamers
people
aren't
aren't
real
going to have
people.
an
He
opportunity.
does not respect you, okay?
Madam.
So what my point is, sir, is wait.
Governor
what am I
Bradford,
rebutting?
time is up. I have a question for you. Matt.
Yeah.
Your-
Senator.
Governor Bradford.
Governor.
Yes.
Your history, your long history with the Video Game Outsiders podcast,
Yes.
for
yes.
many years, this has all been well documented that you are indeed a PlayStation fanboy. However,
Okay. Well,
Governor, let me finish the question. However, in the past year, it seems
yeah.
that your position has changed quite a bit. Is it true you have an
Okay.
Xbox and Game Pass? And how can we trust your opinion about this PS5 Pro announcement?
First of all, I've been pretty forthright with saying I did receive an Xbox from Crafty.
Oh,
I did
you're
receive
taking
one.
gifts. You are
No,
taking
for
gifts.
free.
That's
From Big
against the law
Pharma.
here in
Is it
America.
true? Did Big
That's
Pharma
right.
send that to you?
Yes, that's right.
Prior to my
Okay.
coming to this debate, prior to my involvement in any of this,
That's right.
I did receive an Xbox. So,
Okay.
but I think it's been well documented that I'm a quote-unquote Sony pony for many years, having bought the PlayStation
That's
Move.
because nobody
having
gave you a
bought-
free PlayStation, sir.
Ma'am, did you buy PlayStation VR? Did you buy a PlayStation Move? Did you buy a PlayStation
Matt,
Vita?
what
How
year
many
are we
PlayStation
talking
products
about?
have you purchased?
And did Big Pharma give you an Xbox?
I would like to see the documents of how many PlayStation peripherals she's purchased over the last 10 years. Because I think if we put our
I
records
don't think
together,
that's
I'm the
relevant. You're
Sony
taking
pony.
free gifts from third parties here, sir, which is why you're trying to shit on PlayStation now. You have flip-flopped. You are not
The
trustworthy.
assumption that Crafty is
Yeah.
in my pocket, or I'm in Crafty's pocket, is absurd.
All right.
And we've addressed this, and I'm
Yeah.
not going to give it any
Okay.
further merit by talking about
Let
it
the
on this
people
debate.
decide, and I believe everyone should decide, not just half the real people, as my opponent here says. And I'm about bringing people together, okay? And he's dividing us. He's putting us into
Bringing
categories.
people together with tech
That's right.
jargon and terms that
Tech
only
jargon.
the
I think they're
elites would
intelligent enough to
understand.
understand that I'm not going to insult their intelligence and say, hey, vote for me because I got a free Xbox and now I want to shit on Sony. This man's a flip-flopper. He stands for nothing.
Thank you.
Whoever he agrees with the
Thank
last
you.
person
Governor
he's
Madison,
speaking
The
to.
thank you.
senator is taking
Governor
and
Madison,
making
I have a
something out of
question for
nothing.
you. Please, Governor Madison, I have a question for you. Considering the graphic card climate with NVIDIA and PC gaming, you can easily spend $1,200 to $2,000 on a graphic card these days. How does that compare to the PS5 Pro and the value?
Well, I think the PS5 Pro is the promise here. Is they're saying that, look, we don't want you to have to play games at 30 FPS. So if you want to play at 60, if that is important to you, we're giving you this option for only $100 more than the new Xbox that's coming out. We're giving you these technologies. They're trying to take us to the future. Console gaming is actually holding PC gaming back, and they are taking us. They're taking console users to the future. Because look, a lot of console users don't want a PC. We always hear this. We say, I wish I could play a more powerful thing in my living room. Well, now you can, and it's an option for you. Why take that option away from people? The people mad about the price are just misinformed. I blame the media. I blame
Governor
people
Madison,
like Governor
follow-up
Bradford.
question.
Yeah.
Is this new price a precedent that we're setting? Is $700 the new $400?
I think that the precedent was already set by Microsoft when they're selling an old Xbox for $600 in November. This is a new PS5 Pro with actually 3 updated hardware components and new AI technology for only $100 more. Yes, $180 more if you want to count the disk drive.
I think we're missing a key element to this whole debate. Okay.
Yeah.
Can I use some
just
math
fact
for
check.
you? Is it-
Fact check.
not your
Quick
job.
fact check here. GameStop Series X 479. Continue.
No, the new Xbox that's coming out that
$499.
says the same. No, the new Xbox coming out with the same 2 terabyte
I'm
storage
fact
is
checking.
actually
I am the fact
$600
checker.
in November.
I am the fact checker.
No, so you're the fact checker. You're wrong, Dick
As of
Wad.
today-
It's $600 in November with a new one that's being released. That's
Do you
2
know that
terabytes.
I
That would
am-
match up with
I
the
don't know
Pro.
what 60
The
seconds is, but it's
competition
definitely gone long
60
over
is
60
$600.
seconds.
It's only $100 more for
Governor
new CPU,
Bradford,
new GPU,
your response.
faster RAM,
Your
AI
response.
technology.
Governor Bradford,
I will
your
do
Live in
response.
the
simple math
past
for
and
you.
go with this
I will
guy
do
who's
some-
a paid shill for Xbox.
Governor, and by
Do
the
some
way,
math.
fact check, just a quick fact check. The price of the PS5 Pro at $700 does not include an optical drive or a stand.
So what? I
All
said or call it,
things that you
I
get
said
with
or
a
call it
Series X.
780.
Governor,
Or call it 780 if
Governor,
you want the
Governor,
physical media is
Governor,
dead. Go
Governor,
churn your fucking
Governor.
butter, dude. Physical media is dead.
now, Governor
Go churn
Bradford,
butter.
quick fact check.
And 180 is still. If I
Quick.
can go from 30, no, quick. If I can go from 30 frames per second to 60, an extra 180 bucks is
all right,
worth
quick
it.
fact
You
check.
stupid
Rebut two
losers.
things.
Wait, Governor,
You're all a
Governor, and
bunch of
Senator,
losers.
please. Quick fact
No.
check.
Yes.
The PS5 Pro promises backwards compatibility. Without an optical
we get to our
drive,
closing
without an
statements or
optical,
ask this guy
without an
some
optical
questions?
drive, please explain how we acquire said games.
I don't work for Sony. I work for the American people.
First
and
of
what I'm
all,
hearing
I
from
can
them is
answer
they want a
this, having
powerful system in their living room.
Governor
and Sony's giving
Bradford,
it to
please
you.
respond to the lack of optical drive and how you take advantage of backwards compatibility.
Well, this actually goes to the point I was trying to get
scams the
across
system.
earlier, is that this is going to be at least a $900 console in Canada. Plus, if you
Oh,
want to
this
play
is
your
America,
physical media,
dude.
you've got to pay another $200 for another drive and a stand
80.
because your
80 for a
PlayStation
drive.
needs a stand
Fact check.
in order to not
Fact
heat
check.
itself up and
There is
die.
an exchange,
80.
Governor, Senator. There is an exchange rate.
Right, but you let
This
an
could be
outsider in, they bring your
$1,200 at the end
outside
of the day.
politics here. I don't care about what happens in Canada. You guys are doing some weird shit up there with beavers.
$1,200
This is the
for
United
what,
States
Michelle?
of America.
A few more
$80
frames.
at a disc drive if you're held back and you love physical media. Guess what? As a PC gamer, I'm telling you
A
guys,
few more
I've seen the
frames,
future.
no disc,
Physical
no
media is
stand.
fucking dead. There are no disc drives in
Playing
PCs.
games that
Get
are only
used to
going
it,
to be optimized
bitches.
for the PlayStation
Get
5
used to it,
base
bitches.
anyways.
Physical's dead. It's dead. You want to buy one? $80 for your drive. You can add it on if you
Can
want.
you
And guess
talk
what?
about
$180
Sony's track
is still
record
better.
with pros? Because
Senator,
I don't remember people buying a pro.
Senator.
Yeah.
I want to bring up backwards
Am I the
compatibility. No, you're governor. I want to bring up the backwards compatibility again because this will really, for the most part,
They haven't
require
confirmed
an
that is
optical.
or is not happening yet, so I don't like to speculate. I like to work on facts,
The
which is why I can tell you from the
PS5
Promise
technical
is a promise,
specs, this is
Senator, or
actually
don't you believe that?
They have not promised. It hasn't been stated yet. It's all speculation. You're trying to suck
What is-
me into your
what is
rumors and your dark
speculation?
deceit. The fact that there's backwards compatibility and how they're going to handle it. I like to work off the facts, and
So
I'm
if
telling
there's
you
no
that
backwards-
statistically,
so,
there is a
there's
price
not
per
gonna be any
frame
backwards
cost. If
compatibility?
you
What am
look,
I
you
paying
can't
for?
buy a
Fact
Lamborghini
check,
for the
fact
price
check.
of your
Sony
Yugo.
says-
Go back to Canada.
Please, Sony says improved performance of over 8,500 backwards compatible PS4 games. So, if you don't have an optical drive, do you have to buy these games again? Or can you get them on the secondary market and then therefore have to purchase optical
Ask
drive?
Sony, not me. We don't have
Can
those,
I
that
also make a
information
point
yet, sir.
that
Yes.
Sony has made promises when PS5 was launched that we'd be hitting 60. There was no such thing as performance and quality mode. That came about when Sony realized it couldn't keep its promise of good graphics. So how are we supposed to believe the PlayStation Pro
He
is
didn't
going
know
to
the
fix that when
developers
all
were all
Sony does is
DEI
sell us
hires with
ties?
blue hair, which is another problem in this country. But let's not get into that. Let's get into our closing arguments. Oh, sorry, that's your job, John.
I'm sorry, was I ending this?
I thought we were done. We got to do news.
I've got Ohio. I gotta
Closing arguments.
in Ohio. I gotta get on
Alright.
a plane too.
Let him go first.
Okay, I would like to thank everyone for participating in the first presidential Sony PS5 Pro election debate.
Yes, closing statements.
I would like each of you to take 30 seconds and present your closing statements. Going first, Governor Bradford from Canada.
Well, listen, $1,200 Canadian for something that does only a
Canadian.
mere
Yeah, it's
an ounce
$3,000 in
better than a
Zimbabwe
PlayStation
coin.
5 is a terrible market decision, especially since developers aren't going to make use of it, considering the install base is going to be very low. I would just wait a couple of years until the PlayStation 6 comes out because this is going to be supported past 6 months. Thank you.
Developers don't
I don't
have
need
to
the
take
rest for
advantage
free.
of stronger technology. That's not how it
Senator.
works. It's like having a 3080 versus a 4090. You're going to get better performance in the 4090 versus the 3080.
No one's
just
going
so
to
you
use
know.
that potential.
You don't have to use it, and they will use it.
PlayStation.
All right, my closing statement is this. GTA 6 bundle. Times are hard out there. Do you want to rob a gas station at 30 frames per second? No. Get the PlayStation Pro if you want more performance in your living room. Make America 60 frames again. That is a bare minimum here. You should not be playing at 30. There is better out there. I believe in you. You sitting on the couch right now with the controller in your hand, why are you limiting yourself to that? That old can of cold beans and 30 frames per second with the developers that are making Avowed and Starfield and all these shitty Xbox games telling you that 30 frames is enough? No. Listen to Mark Cerny. He's telling you it's janky, and to get the PS5 Pro, $700 is a fucking steal, people. Or
When a
just
company
build a
shits
PC.
on its own product.
I would like
That's
to
right.
thank everyone for joining us on our 2024 presidential PS5 Pro debates. I, of course, am your host,
I can't believe
John
we let a Canadian in here.
Tucker Anderson.
What? Who called security? What? Why are there people?
Good
allowed-
night,
Security, get rid of this
America.
outsider.
What's going on?
Good night,
60
America.
frames again. All right. So,
All
silly
right.
debate aside, we're having fun.
All right,
with
that
it.
was fun. That was fun. I
it was
liked
fun.
it. Okay.
By the way, we're not.
Yeah.
We were taking sides.
All right, so I would like to say my
now let's
opinion
really
about all
talk
this.
about it.
Okay.
Yeah, what's your opinion,
I
John?
foresee that John will buy this when GTA 6 comes out and not before.
There you go. Yeah.
And
Maybe
not
a lot
before.
of people.
Foresee.
And not before.
Do you think they're going to save GTA 6 for the Pro or to use it to sell pros like the only
Yes.
the best experiences
Yeah,
on a Pro?
there's rumors that there's going to be a GTA 6 bundle. It makes complete sense to me, especially since it's not coming out on PC, for at least a year or two,
Yeah.
possibly after release on console. And listen, Phil, this is a wake-up call, buddy. Okay, and if I was Microsoft, I would skip Series X Pro or 0.5
Yeah.
and really just eat Sony's lunch and do something even better. Come up
The
with the
handheld dockable.
do the no, that's not going to be next gen powerful though. So if I was Phil, I would go to Taiwan or wherever the fuck Jensen is and fucking suck his dick and say, "Listen, bro, we
Ooh,
got."
don't do that. No, but I was bringing up an honest
We
point
got-
'cause
Fire festival.
I want to ask you guys
Yeah.
honestly: is it whether it's 700 or 780 with the disk drive? And let's just work off American prices for fairness'
Yeah.
sake. Comparing the 2 terabyte size of them, the new Xbox Series X coming out is 600, and it doesn't have an upgraded CPU, GPU, RAM, speed, whatever. It doesn't have the AI upscaling tech, which is
No.
very important. What would an appropriate price be for the Pro then if Xbox is charging 600? 650?
I'm gonna
No,
say,
like-
and I don't like this precedent though with this price point for a 0.5 console. I just don't. Right?
But isn't this what console people have been saying they want? That they as an option, they want to. I hear it all the time.
Make
like,
it
I'd love to be a
modular.
PC
Make
gamer,
it so
but I can't afford it, and I
pull
don't know how to
something out and put
control
something
it.
in and get something better.
Modular.
Like,
Right.
Yeah,
like
I don't
just,
think.
I don't.
So sell one base PS5
but
with a Pro
why
GPU
even
you swap
call
in
it
or
the
something.
PS5 Pro? Just call it the PS6
But why
if
isn't
it's
it a
so
Pro?
great.
It's more powerful. They have upgraded everything. The CPU is new.
I understand,
it's
Michelle,
faster.
but it's a
So
weird.
call it PlayStation 6.
More
It's a good
GPU
point.
cores,
Like,
a
why
faster
not?
GPU
I have
RAM,
to say-
50% faster rendering, and new AI upscale. What? This is an upgrade all
Okay,
around
but
across
it's
the
a
board
weird,
in every way, hardware and
it's a weird
software. So
precedent
what's wrong
though
with it?
because this has never happened. Okay, where I buy a system, I buy into the PS5 ecosystem, and
It
then
has happened. They do pros all the time.
all the time they've done it the last 2 generations. So
No, there was a Slim before, which
that's
was the new
not a
updated
Pro.
version.
That's a cheaper,
It was
slimmer
faster
version.
at the time. One of the Slims was faster
What, the
at the
hard
time.
drive wasn't the?
It had a faster like CPU or something.
Barely. I don't know. That was cheaper. The Slims were cheaper than the original.
I'm
ones.
asking you an appropriate price when Xbox is charging 600 for all old hardware and no new tech with the AI
If you have to buy
upscaling.
the
They're charging
disk
600.
drive and stand, like
So then it's
same
the
price
stand
then.
it's 99 cents on Amazon. Let's say it's with the disk drives, it's an extra
Right.
$180. What is the price point when Xbox
Okay,
is charging
Michelle,
600? They
I
set
want-
the standard here.
Just so you understand, I'm with you on this because I even said this on the John Show. I want a more expensive Switch because I want it to be
Right.
better. And I said that I
Given
go,
as an option for the people who want it. People
I
are
will
sick of
spend
30, and you have
I will
Xbox
spend
saying it's fine.
$700 on a premium Switch that is fucking oh my god badass, right? And
Yeah.
Right.
and let me
Yeah.
do it, okay? But I don't
Yeah.
like this mid-generation upgrade. It just we're getting accustomed to this, and it's a little
we
weird.
don't know when they plan the PS6.
But you're delaying
we don't know
the
if it's a
next gen.
mid-generation.
Why are you delaying
But we don't know if it's
the
going to
next
follow
gen?
the same cadence. Xbox may do a next gen, and they may just stick with this. We don't know
I
how they're
want
going to handle
Phil.
it yet.
If I was Phil, I would say we're not doing a 0.5. We're going to the next gen. Fuck you, fuckers. Here it is.
Like leap over
But
Sony.
the way
and be like,
technology
okay, you're going 0.5.
but you know how
And
fast
Microsoft
technology
has
is moving right
time
now,
to
John.
do
That's
this.
why you're seeing the mid upgrades, because
Yeah.
technology is moving so fast now, faster than it did before, that they had to come in and do a little refresh. And instead of refreshing it all, Xbox just upped the price and added more storage. So, like, I have an issue with that. Like, so you're telling me
I
that
don't
what
disagree.
Xbox. That's they
But
set the
but
price.
you
there.
can still
Sony
buy
coming
the-
in with an
the
upgraded
current
machine
Series
has
X.
to put it more. Yeah, but it doesn't matter. They're setting the market for here's what one with this terabyte is worth to us. And then Sony comes in and says, okay, we have that storage, plus we have new CPU, GPU, AI, so we're going to charge 100 or 180 more if you include the disk drive. I think people are upset with the fact that they actually want this and can't buy it. Nobody cared about the Xbox being $600 because nobody wanted it. People actually want this. They kind of want to play GTA on this, but they don't like the fact that it's, well, what should it have cost?
But
though?
GTA
50
is
more?
so far on the horizon that you can't really equate this with that just yet.
And by the time it comes out, they bundle it at the same
And
price
by the
it is
time
now,
it
and
comes
people buy
out,
it.
Microsoft might have the next gen. Don't rule
I
that.
mean, this is a crazy time.
Don't rule that out. Okay, you don't know what Phil's doing over there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I
GTA
get it
6
that like
was
not
from
every
2026. And I
Yeah.
think
That's a
gonna be
rumor.
when new
Rockstar
consoles-
Yeah.
employees supposedly said that's not true. It's still 2025.
Okay. Not everybody wants to be a PC gamer, so if I was a console user only and somebody presented me right now with what console I would buy, this is the one I would buy because I would want to make sure I never had to play a game at 30 FPS.
Okay,
Like, so
to
it
be
does appeal
devil's
to
advocate
some
with that
people.
statement, though, you're basically buying this device to play current gen games at higher frames that are old. There's no new games to
You're
go with.
playing every game,
But there's
though. It
no
doesn't
new there's
necessarily-
no new
I'm s-
games to go with this. There's no game attached to this.
There's Wukong.
There's no game attached to
that
this
runs
except
better.
for
There's GTA
existing
that runs better.
except for
It's just like
existing
a
games.
graphics card, John. Every
I
single
get
game
it.
is going to run better.
They
That's
should
why I
have
bought my
showed
4090
something, though.
over a 3080.
We should
They
have
showed stuff, but it was
They
stupid.
showed Last of Us and Spider-Man. They should have showed us something that is new on the horizon. And okay,
It's
I've
going to
moved.
take advantage of the Pro. This
Matt,
is why you need
Matt,
a Pro.
I'm
This is
pretty
the next
certain
gen.
you've moved on from Last of Us. You've moved on from Spider-Man. You're not going to buy this.
There are new
and-
gamers every day, and
I
but here's the
understand
thing,
that, but
this probably pushes more people into the PC market because a lot of people are
Yeah.
going, well, if I'm going to spend $700-800, I'll probably just build a PC for twice as much. But a lot of
But
people don't want to
That's
do
a good
that.
point, though. Like, what games is this really going to be?
There's no games
What are we-
attached to this right now. All they're promising is that the PS5 games that run in performance mode at 30 are now going to run potentially at 60 with the 45%
They're
GPU.
trying to
Cyberpunk would be a
combine
Potentially.
performance and quality, right?
Right.
Which was
Cyberpunk
the
would be
original
great on
promise
this,
that
maybe.
they both made.
Well, they said it was like a 45% GPU bump or something. So
Rendering upgrade
if a
combo
game-
was about 45% more. Mhm.
okay, and then the AI upscaling. I mean that.
Which is important. People are
well,
laughing at that.
But the games
but it's
need
actually
the
important.
games need to have that implemented and built in. I'm assuming
Right.
that Sony just can't
well,
have a switch
it
in the.
depends if they have FSR and they
Well,
might just
that's
use
how
that as their own
PC is. Every
proprietary.
game has the
Yes.
DLSS options. It's in the game. It's not an OS level thing. It's not a device level. It's a game level thing, right? So I guess games could put updates in there to take advantage of that, but
I don't know. I think that there's a people have been saying like there's a hole in the market. We've been saying this, John, that like people that make a new Steam box for the living room. Sony
Yeah.
may be the only ones doing this. Like there is a market for a very powerful console in the living room that's not a PC. Some people don't want to mess with it. So I think having a $700-800 console for your living room is fine. It's a good option for people. Let people game with better graphics at 60 FPS if they want. And what are you
I'm
expecting
never
it to
against
cost?
giving people options. Sure.
Yeah, I get
well,
why
this is an
somebody
option.
doesn't want.
This is an option.
Yeah.
This is an option over the PS5 that's not going away. So
I'm not going to buy it.
Right.
Like, personally, it's just that it
I
doesn't
think
make
that
sense to me.
listen, when GTA 6 comes out, if Microsoft has not announced something,
Right.
I will probably definitely buy this because I want to play GTA 6 the best way possible, and this is going to be it. I don't foresee
And I
any other
think a
game,
lot of
and they should
people
have
are
really showed us
gonna be
something
there when-
else.
It's about GTA 6.
They really should have showed us something though that is coming out this Christmas or whatever with the system. You know, like give me a reason to buy it in November.
Yeah.
And I don't see it. The only reason they're giving is The games
is
you
the better
own.
performance. It's not because it comes in an exclusive game. The same reason I bought a 4090 over already having a 3080 wasn't a game. It was the fact that I wanted better performance in all games.
I get it, but what they're saying is the games you own already that you've already moved on from will run better.
That you're not going to play.
Yeah, that I'm not going to revisit.
Games coming out all the time. Just like.
Okay, but there's no guarantee they're going to take advantage of any of this.
They are going to take advantage of a better GPU automatically. Of a faster RAM speed automatically.
I think a lot of these options are game level. The games have to tap into all that, though.
Maybe for their proprietary PSSR, but not for just performing better. Right. I think. I don't know. I don't know how it's going to work on the consoles, but I don't either.
Like so,
it's something to follow here.
Governor.
That's right. I think it was a fair.
I think that we have
no Canadians
discussed
next
it
time,
all.
please. Mm-hmm.
We've covered everything we could.
Put a bet. Yeah, the debate's over.
And I think now it is time to move on to the news. All right, Michelle, what's going on out there?
Apparently, Ubisoft shares have plunged again after investors urged the company to go private. So, recent releases including Star Wars Outlaws and X-Defiant have reportedly missed expectations, and investors are now